Hello everybody, my name is Leo and with this video we share a demo review of the Zoom G2x Four. First of all, we will hear the unit in action with the demo song, then we will describe the technical characteristics of the unit, then we will hear more sounds also building together presets, checking out a clean and an overdriven tone, and finally I will give you my 2 cents. So I hope you enjoy and please don't forget to subscribe and ring the bell as it would be of a great help. Let's start! Let's describe the unit. First of all, Zoom has released 2 new amp modeling pedalboards, which are called Zoom G2x and G2x Four. The 2 units are basically equal. They differ for 2 main things, the price and the expression pedal. The price of the G2x is 224 euros and $200, where the price of the G2x Four is 257 euros and $230. Furthermore, the G2x Four has the expression pedal built in, which is missing in the G2x, even if the G2x has an input for an external controller, which is missing in the G2x Four. These units are updated versions of the original G1x and the G1x, which were released back in 2019. They now offer 22 amps and cabinets with 79 effects that you can arrange in whatever order you want, in up to 7 effects blocks. In terms of amp and cab tone, one leading feature for Zoom is the multi-layer IR technology. Basically, you have 3 different layers of IRs for each amp, recorded at different volume levels, in order to try to simulate the dynamic range of a real tube amp that cleans up when you play softly and breaks up when you play harder. Basically, these 3 layers of IRs are recalled and blend together according to how strong or soft you play. And I think that they work pretty well, as you may hear in the more sound section of this video. On the other hand, you cannot load your own IRs, which is honestly a real bummer. And there is no possibility to select a cabinet or a mic, as each amp comes with its cabinet and the mic associated that you cannot change. And actually you even don't know which cab and mic is associated to each amp. There are 250 patches built in, with additional 50 user patches at your disposal. Furthermore, there is an 80 seconds looper that you can use with 68 drum patterns. It has a 256 by 128 dots matrix black and white LCD screen, which is pretty poor considering what the competition is offering. As regards inputs and outputs, we have a guitar input, an aux in, an headphone out and unbalanced stereo outputs. It can be used as a 2-channel USB-C audio interface at up to 44.1 kHz and 32 bits, and the internal signal processing is at 32 bits. There is an app for our phone at our disposal to be used to build presets and dial our tone, which is not free, at least in the iOS App Store. Well, this is the first unit with an app that you have to purchase. It's cheap, but well, it is a little bit irritating that I have to pay for the app to control the unit, even considering that the screen is not the best in the market, and therefore a way to control the unit with a phone or tablet is pretty useful. On the other hand, I was not able to make the Zoom Guitar Lab computer app working with this unit. Maybe it will be updated in the coming weeks, but so far it does not work with my Mac. Furthermore, if you go in the Zoom website, you may notice that the G2x Four is not listed among the pedalboards who can connect with the app. The dimensions are the ones shown in the picture, and the weight is respectively 700 grams and 950 grams. They require 9 volts at 500 milliamperes, and they can also be bus powered via USB, which is a nice feature. So here Zoom is trying to step up their game, upgrading the amp modeling algorithms, which is good, but at this price point the competition is pretty strong. For instance, we have the new XMG400 or the Ampero One, which at least in euro are priced very similarly. And please don't forget to subscribe and ring the bell not to miss my upcoming video comparisons. Let's now hear some more sounds, also building together new presets. Here we are in the more sound section of this video, where we will first of all build some presets together so I can show you how to do it, and then using the presets we'll also explore some more sounds, effects, amps, etc. So here I have an empty slot. First of all we have to enter the signal chain. In order to do it you have to press enter, and then now we have the effect blocks at our disposal. First of all, the wah-wah can be inserted in the last block where you have the output volume. So let's select the block of the volume pedal and we will put inside it a wah-wah, and it is automatically associated to the expression pedal. Now let's go back. I would put in the first position a tube screamer. So as I was saying, with the left and right arrow you select the effect block, then with the upper row you enter the effect list. One thing very annoying is that it is pretty slow and small, and it's difficult to see actually the effects. In any case, this is like a matrix. You have in each column an effect type, and then in each row different instances of the same effect. So for instance, here I have the compressors, here I have the filters, then there are the overdrive, chorus, delay, reverbs and looper, and then the amp. So as I was saying, in the first block we want the tube screamer. So this is an RC booster tube screamer, and it's done. We can activate it or deactivate it. Then in the second block I would put the amp, so last row, and I would use a JCM 800. Here it is. The volume is pretty high. Let's decrease it a little bit. I would decrease also the level of gain, and in order to reduce the noise, let's switch off the tube screamer. Then in position number 3 I would put the chorus, stereo chorus, and in position number 4 I would put a ping pong delay. So this is kind of a lead tone. Ping pong delay, here it is. So let's start from the amp alone, switching off the delay and the chorus. Let's add some more gain. I would enhance a little bit the presence. It cleans up and breaks up pretty well. Okay, now the tube screamer. Okay, too much drive and gain in my opinion. Typically with a tube screamer you want to push the front end of the amp with some volume but not too much gain. Fine. And now let's add the delay. Too much delay. What is the time? Okay. 500 milliseconds. I have to put it to short. Okay, with short I can go from 0 to 600 basically. Now, what about the chorus? Too invasive, let's reduce it in the mix. A little bit of less depth. Here you have also a sort of stomp mode, because as you can see the 3 foot switches are associated to the pedal you can see in the screen. So here I'm activating and deactivating the delay or the chorus. I don't know if it is possible even to associate the single foot switches to specific blocks. I was not able to find how to do it. This is a sort of stomp mode because this is associated to the amp, for instance, and I would like to associate it to the tube screamer and not the amp. I don't need to store because there is the auto store function enabled. Let's try to change the name, so we have to keep pressed this foot switch, patch name, the second one, and then we will browse the letter with the arrow. We can cancel the letter with the third foot switch and we choose the letter with the arrow. And it's done. Now I want a clean patch. So once again, let's select the amp. I would go with the deluxe reverb, twin reverb, deluxe reverb. Too much overdriven. Okay, a nice clean amp. Then let's add a reverb. I would go with the plate reverb. A little bit too much. We put the trail on so that when we change patch the effect still goes on, but I would reduce a little bit the effect in the mix. Okay, now it's nice. And now the last touch is a bit of delay. Let's see what happened when we push the deluxe reverb with, for instance, a tube screamer. So for instance, if we have the reverb and the echo, okay, and that's all basically. Let's now share my final considerations. Final considerations here, and please notice that these are gonna be my personal opinions for my specific use case, and you may not agree with me, and this is totally fine. Furthermore, I have purchased this unit with my own money, and this video is not sponsored, therefore I am free to tell you whatever I want. Furthermore, you can help the channel using the links below to purchase the gear you want, or purchasing my IRs, with a link in the card above. Let's talk about the pros and cons. For sure, the first pro is its compactness. This unit is very small and light, and so it is really a pleasure to bring it with us everywhere we may go. Furthermore, it is USB powered, therefore you can connect it to your computer via USB and you don't need to use a power adapter, which is pretty handy and something all the other manufacturers should do. Third, I would mention the dynamic range management. I think that the combination of the 32 bits converters and the multi-layered IRs contribute to provide a pretty good experience in terms of responsiveness to your touch. I found that the unit nicely follows my touch, cleaning up and breaking up according to how hard or soft I push the strings. Let's now talk about the cons. First of all, I would say that the unit has its own way to be used and programmed. You get used even if it is pretty unique and it takes time. But what I found really bad is the screen. It is black and white, it is small, and the writings are even smaller. Furthermore, it is slow. Well, it is honestly one of the worst screens I have ever used, also compared to cheaper unit. I understand that the zoom effort to keep the price low, but well, as I was saying, there are cheaper units with better screens. And nowadays, in the era of smartphones, such a poor screen is almost unacceptable. I would pair the screen cons with the paid app and the computer app that currently does not work with this unit. I mean, with such a bad screen, the app should be absolutely free. The app is cheap, but come on, you should not pay any money for an app that compensates such a weak screen. Zoom should encourage us to download the app and not to making you pay for it. Another cons I would mention is that it is not possible to load your own IRs, and internally the unit does not offer any possibility to change the cab or the mic for each amp. I mean, the amp block is kind of monolithic. You choose the amp type and that's all. You cannot choose any cab or mic, as I was saying. With this choice, the unit is way less customizable and not in line with what the competition is offering. It may be easier at the beginning not to have many choices, but this approach limits the longevity of the unit in my opinion. And you know that I think that the cab, the mic and its position across the cab greatly change your tone. All in all, this is a nice little machine, but its main problem is the competition. Cheap units are getting better and better, both in terms of tone and features offered. And you know, color screens, custom IRs, etc. are becoming standard. Therefore, machines limited in these areas may be penalized, at least in my opinion. Of course, we will do some comparison videos in the coming weeks, therefore stay tuned and ring the bell. And please let me know in the comment section below what do you think about this unit and which are its strengths and weaknesses. I really appreciate all your precious and valuable opinions. We have now reached the end of this video, I hope you enjoyed, and if you did it, please subscribe to my channel, ring the notification bell and leave a thumb up, as it would be of a great help. If you're interested in my IRs or in my camper profiles, you can check out the link in the card above or description below, where there is also a link to a playlist of songs of mine. And of course, if you use my links to purchase gear, you actually help the channel. Thank you so much for watching and see you soon in the next video. And now I leave you with the unboxing of the unit. Bye bye.